Let's have a look at Art Tatum's version of There'll Never Be Another You. This is going to be in the key of G flat, it's going to be in a stride style, and there's going to be much more complicated substitutions happening here and harmonic movements. But thinking in terms of Barry Harris's method and thinking in terms of diminished chords is going to make it much easier to understand. So the first move is this. Descending from the 5 to the 3. The way that I think of this is, if we're thinking of this destination as 1, flat 3 diminished, 2, and then the tritone substitution, flat 2, 1. Of course, we're not resolving to a major or a minor here, but sometimes you have to tonicize another note. It's kind of a modal mixture idea. So this would go to, you would think, the relative minor, E flat minor 6. But he just pivots from one cadence point to another. The 5 of the 6, straight to the 5 of the 1. Now here we have a nice suspension, but he's going to use G flat major 6 diminished to resolve us. So he doesn't really do a classic suspension resolution move. Doesn't do that. Okay, moving along. What do we have here? Well, our next destination is going to be back to that B flat. So you can think of this as flat 3 diminished. All that's missing is that G. This is a nice borrowed C diminished 7. And then we're going to, this is going to be B flat 7, flat 5 diminished. It's going up to its important minor, F minor 7. Let's have a look at that again. The only scale movement I can think of that includes all of these notes is going to be the dominant 7 flat 5 diminished. Okay, so that was just bouncing up to the important minor. It's kind of like a 2-5 to E flat minor, minor 2-5 to E flat minor. Nicely bounces to the 5. Alright, so here this is an important thing to pause and look at. We play E flat minor 6 here. We don't play E flat minor 7. There's sort of a hint of that because of the melody note that he's choosing. But then he comes right back with E flat minor 6. He imposes that very strongly here. Alright, what's going on there? Very interesting move. E flat minor to D diminished, C sharp diminished. Well, where he's headed to is the 4. We're actually going to be resolving to B major. So again, we have flat 2 diminished to C sharp, which is the 2 diminished, to 1. Okay. How are these voiced? This is some really pretty borrowing right here. You can borrow in the other direction too. You can be on a diminished 7 chord and borrow to say a major 6 or a dominant 7. There's some really complicated borrowing going on in this one. So we're going to skip over it for now. Because it would take 5 minutes to explain. But this one right here is a little more straightforward in how it's borrowing. We have 3 diminished notes, and then 2 notes borrowed from the B major 6 that we're resolving to. Alright, now what happens next? This intimidating run. I'm just going to play it slowly, I don't want to play it at speed right now. Alright, now that took me a while to figure out, but I was thinking in terms of, is this the diminished scale? Is this the whole tone scale? Is this the altered scale? And then I put my mind into Barry Harris thinking, and this is just B major 6 diminished. Every note used here belongs to the B major 6 diminished scale. Now he goes up to this next bit. I think of this in terms of this diminished here. We're really thinking in terms of F sharp, dominant 7, going to B major. Because I didn't play the root notes, but the root's left hand plays that. There's some heavy chromaticism happening. And heavy surrounding happening. But you can think of it in terms of this E diminished sort of chord. And you can think of it really clearly as he goes. To the resolution to B. The only thing that I'll point out is here, this sort of major 7 major to 1 major belongs in the category of the flat 3 diminished. This note right here belongs to the flat 3 diminished in the key, going to 1. It's that sound, essentially.